Hi everyone, welcome to this week's question and answer video. I do this every single Monday. I want to welcome new people here, new viewers. Hi, thank you for watching and tuning in. If you think that I'm benefiting you or this video is good or could help other people, could you please do me a big favor and subscribe to the channel down there. You can hit the notification bell, let you know when other of my videos are coming out all week. Comment down below, say hello, tell me what you think, ask questions. And that's what I'm doing in this video. I'm trying to answer your guys' questions to help you heal from your traumas. I'm not claiming I have all the answers, but if I could tell you something to help you understand your trauma better, you are healing, okay? And it's the one free thing you can do here. So get involved, tell us where you're from, tell us where you're at, and go and read other people's comments down below. They're great, and interact with them, and maybe they'll help you answer some other questions. So, I have a lot of good questions. I do every week, but there's a lot of them. So I'm going to try to get through them today. And I recommend something every week. This week, it's another book. This book really covers a lot of what you guys may be going through. It's called Healthy Relationships: Overcome Anxiety, Couple Conflicts, Insecurity, and Depression Without Therapy. Stop jealousy and negative thinking. Learn how to have a happy relationship with anyone. And that's what this is all about. Don't lose sight of this, guys. We need to have relationships with people. They're the most important thing to all of us. And that's where we have our true emotional needs met, in these relationships, okay? And so if we've been abused and traumatized from relationships in our past, there's a lot of things we need to fix. And I'm not saying it's your fault. Anything that anybody did to you that was wrong, it was bad, it was their fault, okay? But we got to learn. And we have to heal from our past traumas, not take them into our new relationships. But we have to have functional, loving, growing, healthy relationships, okay? And this seems like a pretty good book for that. I have not read it, just by looking into it a little bit, and the feedback seems great. And it really covers the most important parts. Is we need to heal and stuff, but learn how to have good, healthy relationships where we communicate and we have emotional connection and security and all these things like this. So anyone's read it, let me know, please. And if anyone does, let me know what you think. As always, you can find this on Amazon in the link down below in the description box. It says, a simple guide to get over your relationship problems. Interpersonal relationships aren't easy. They're not. But sometimes they're simpler than you think. They are a lot more simpler than the traumatic relationships we've had, okay, with very unhealthy people. And we need to get healthy so we have healthy partners and friends in our lives. Okay, that is down below. Let's get started with the first question, which is from Christy in Montana. Hello, Christy. Hi, David. I've been reading and watching a lot of YouTubes about NPD, Narcissistic Personality Disorder. After much time, I finally made a decision in my own mind about it and would appreciate your feedback whether you think I'm off the mark or not. I don't believe that NPD is an actual disorder. That might shock everyone in this community, including myself, that has had our worlds turned upside down because of narcissists. But narcissists can, and often do, act right and proper when the time calls for it. They abuse in private. They have selective memory and rewrite history only when it serves their purpose. They can be high-functioning society when required. They can read the needs. They can read the needs in others, not out of empathy necessarily, but enough to keep the train on the tracks. In other words, they can help it. They can help it when they want to. It's not an illness or disorder that renders them helpless to it. Hogwash. They are just awful people. That's your medical diagnosis, huh? Awful person. Plain and simple, and they want to be and choose to be. Lots of us had horrible childhoods and can attest firsthand that it doesn't automatically give a kid the license to be an asshole when they grow up. The DSM should focus on narcissistic abuse syndrome instead of NPD, so that the attention and focus helps the true victims. Well, I don't know how that's going to help the victims, but thank you for your comment. And I'm not a doctor, and I'm not a scientist, and I'm not going to try to change any of it. I try to learn as much as I can from the professionals, and that's kind of how I help you guys. But it definitely is a disorder. It definitely is, Christy. Disorder is a very loose term. It's a spectrum. A lot of what you're talking about actually backs it up that it's a disorder. It's a spectrum. And so some, not all narcissists are the same. And there's different degrees, and some have it worse than others. They don't all abuse in private. That's not true. Some abuse very much so in public, the overt narcissist. And here's the deal. Personality disorders, 10 of them. These terms have been coined for them, not for us, Christy. It's not for us, because that wouldn't make sense. The terms are for them. And the biggest problems they have, why these came about, is they can't do, period. They cannot have the most important thing in their lives, in all of our lives, and that's relationships with people where they're functioning and healthy and loving and growing. They can't do that. So it's not a choice either. And I understand what you mean. It's a choice that they hurt you. Yes, it is. And they need to be held accountable for this. Absolutely. Wrong. Wrong. Abuse is wrong. A lot of it's even can be criminal. It's horrible. It's awful. It's wrong. But they don't have a choice to have their problem. I hope that makes sense. Their problem, personality disorders, come up with childhood, rearing, and culture and genetics. All play a part in it. This is a developmental problem. As they're developing in their childhood, they do not ever develop into a full functioning emotional adult. And it's not necessarily their choice. I understand they choose to hurt people, but they also don't understand the effects of their actions and how it hurts people. They don't have empathy. I'm not excusing it. We have to try to understand it. Classifying them just as a bad person really doesn't tell you anything. Classing it as a disorder lets us all know that there's something not working properly, not functioning properly, and that's them. You actually can see it and detect this in their brains. Now, with different kinds of scans, you can actually detect it in their brains. So it's not so much a choice. A choice would mean that if they wanted to, they could have great, healthy, loving relationships. No, they can't. Period. They cannot. And it doesn't matter how hard they try or want to or don't try or don't want to. It's all going to be ruined for them. And they're not self-aware. They refuse to look at themselves. And that's why they never fix it or get help of any kind, typically. Not all, but. So disorder simply means it doesn't function properly. Something's not working right. And that's them. That's their brains, literally. And their behaviors, so from their thought patterns to their behaviors, don't work right. Don't work right. You can actually detect it on a brain scan. I've done videos about this recently, if you want to go check it out, any of you. There's hundreds, if not thousands, of disorders. And most doctors agree that we probably all have some type of disorder. We all have problems and things that don't work properly. It's a very loose term. Just like post-traumatic stress disorder. We are not functioning and not dealing with stress properly. The way if you have PTSD, then how your reaction to stress is disordered. It's not working properly. Matter of fact, we have, I say we, because I used to have it, have a chemical imbalance. It's a disorder. Trust me. Totally. And it's just such a general loose term anyways. It's hard to argue it. But I love it. I love the argument. Keep it coming too, Christy, if you want. I'm glad that we can sit here and talk about it respectfully. Okay? But let me know what you think. Let me know what you think I said if you want. And keep arguing your point if you want to. I don't mind. I like it. Okay, next one is Narc Survivor, Love and Life. Hello. Don't know where you are from. It says, David helped me heal. I'm 4 years out now. I help others. He's a great mentor. Life gets better. Listen to people who have lived, abused, and recovered. Thanks again. Oh, that's very sweet of you. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate you for saying that. And I think that's the part. We don't listen to just people who have been abused. We listen to people who have been abused and recovered, right? And I think that's important because we tend to mistrust people too fast, too quickly for the wrong reasons. And finding another victim like us almost automatically opens up our trust and say, oh, I trust you. You've been through what I've been through. And it's not about good or bad. I'm telling you, just like Christy said, that narcissists are just bad people. It's not, that doesn't work, because we've all done bad things. So how do you classify bad people? Well, we hurt people. Yes, we've all hurt somebody before. Well, we're not aware of it. Neither is a narcissist. Okay. So, yeah. Thank you very much. That's very nice of you. And And I can't remember where you're from. If you guys can tell me where you're from, I'd appreciate that. Thanks. Whoopi, Middleman. You've told me before, I just can't remember. Maybe I should write them down. Why are some people seems to enjoy being a perpetual victim? Why do they also love rescuing other perpetual victims? What happens if a healthy person starts to date them? They wouldn't. Will they have the ability to harm the healthy person? Love your show. Thank you, David. Thank you very much. Let us know where you are next time. Okay, so one at a time, real quick. Why do some people enjoy being a perpetual victim? I don't think they enjoy it. I think it's how they function. I think there's a big difference between, because a lot of us are dysfunctional and we don't necessarily enjoy it, right? Yeah, but so typically how we have relationships in adulthood, especially problems like this, if they're always the victim, it's how they were in their childhood. It kind of mirrors those kind of relationships. So this person, like all of us, learned what love is from our parents. We learned what a man and a husband and a father is from our father. We learned what a woman and a mother and a wife is from our mother, and the kind of relationships they had with themselves and each other is how we learned what love is and marriage. And so that's typically why they grew up as this total victim, and they believe that's how they get what they need, trying to fix and save everybody. Why do they also love rescuing other victims? Because it's what they're familiar with. We gravitate towards what we identify with, right? That's why neighborhoods are segregated. That's why women will typically, go towards a group of women rather than a group of men, typically, right? Whether it's not just color or gender, but, class, religion, things like this. That's what we do. Our brain does it because it's safety. We go towards people that look like us, act like us, think like us the most. I hope that answers your question. That might be a little general. What happens if a healthy person starts to date them? Well, then they realize that they're not healthy and they stop dating them. That quick, that easy. Big time, right away. The healthier they are, the faster. Maybe not even a single date. They identify right away. Okay? These are kinds of things we pick up on pretty fast. And the healthier you are, the quicker you pick up on things. Okay, Nancy from Joyzy. Sure. Hi, Nancy. Yes, understanding parental neglect helps me understand why I'm me. David, can you elaborate in a future video? I've done tons, Nancy. Thank you for asking. I've done tons. Go back and watch my content videos in a playlist. Watch my cptsd videos in a playlist called Healing cptsd. Check that out, okay? I talk all about it. Dive as much as I can possibly dive into it. But I appreciate your question. A lot of who we are is how we were raised. The 3 parts I just went over: culture, upbringing, and genetics. A big, huge part of our development, emotional, mental, and even physical development is growing up in our environment. And if we grow up neglected, if we grow up abused, exploited, things like this, typically we have been brought up to be somebody we're not. Okay? And so it starts there. It starts there, going back and understanding this and learning from it and healing from it. And then we start discovering who we really are, hopefully. Okay? So understanding our past teaches us a lot about who we are today. I hope that answered your question. Let me know, Nancy. Thank you. Jennifer. I can't remember where you are from either. And I should by now, Jennifer. Sorry. What will help with feeling too much of someone's emotions when they are hurt? Still being empathetic, but feel less of the other person's pain. Thank you, David. Great question. How do we not be so empathetic, right? That we feel everyone's pain and we feel bad for them. What happens first, Jennifer and everybody out there? It makes us more able to be manipulated, to be tricked and fooled, because psychopaths and narcissists and borderlines, they use this. They use the victim playing. And I'm hurt and everybody picks on me and abuses me. And this girl used to cheat on me so bad and just broke my heart. And I know, please do. And so people like us, victims, tend to gravitate towards this and feel sorry for them and trust them. But what's really important, Jennifer, is when we are hurt, when we are let down, when we have loss, and stuff like this, we need to have an inner dialogue to tell ourselves it's going to be okay. David, you're still a good person. David, you have so much to live for. David, you're great. Get up and the whole world's waiting for you out there. So these are the kinds of things that we do to pick ourselves back up and take care of ourselves, okay, and not be solely reliant on others. All right. And so these are the kind of things we tell ourselves when we start feeling this for other people. And we tell ourselves this person is going to be okay. I can't fix them, because when you start getting into mental health issues, you're not going to fix anybody. I'm sorry. Not even if you're a therapist, a counselor, psychiatrist, a life coach, you're not going to help people in the way that they need it. You're not going to give them the help they need. So just being a shoulder to cry on and say, I'm sorry. That's all we have to do. And we don't have to feel bad with them. That's okay. That's not mean. That's not cold. I remember finally having to tell myself, gosh, you know, I just, growing up my whole life, I just was like, people would just open up everything to me and cry to me. And, you know, and I'd be like, oh God, I'm so sorry. Oh, that's awful. And I'd feel about it all day and feel bad for them and not shake it off. And then I might see them again. I still feel bad for them. I see them again. My heart drops. Oh no. Oh God. So, separate. That's their emotions, and you keep yours. You do not have to emotionally react to anybody else's pain and suffering. I know sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's people we care about and love the most, and we know that it's one of the worst days in their life. That's okay. But people at a store says, yeah, you know, my dog died, or whatever. You know, you don't have to go, oh, what can I do for you? No. It's about emotional responsibility, and we're responsible for our emotions, and they're responsible for their emotions, and they need to tell themselves, it's going to be okay, David, I'm going to be all right, you're a good person anyways, everything, you know, and they need to do that for themselves, okay, and it's not our responsibility. Matter of fact, going overboard is too unhealthy. We shouldn't do that. I hate that word shouldn't, but we might not want to do that. So keep our emotions separate. We do not have to feel bad because they do. And tell yourself they're going to be okay. Tell them you're going to be okay. You know, you're going to be all right. I mean, even some of the worst things you could imagine. They lost a child. I'm so sorry. You're going to be okay. And you can tell them sorry, and you don't have to hurt. It took me a while to learn that. And I'm not saying I'm perfect at it. A lot of this, probably still always maybe a little to like this much, you know, I still empathize with people. But sympathy is you cry along with them. You don't need to have that sympathy for everybody, right? We don't have to cry along with everyone that we ever meet and how bad their pain is. And okay, so they should be taking care of themselves. If they need help, they need to go get professional help, because we can't do that. I can't do that for anybody in my life. I can't coach my girlfriend, friend, dad, you know, none of that. So I can't do that. It doesn't work. Okay, so Jennifer, tell yourself they're going to be okay. Tell them they're going to be okay. Realize that they need to take care of themselves. There's not much you can do for them except I'm sorry. And that's all we have to do. Let's not try to fix people's problems. That's codependency. Okay? And you let people be our own separate entities. And you taking them somewhere, driving somewhere, giving them some ice cream, you know, telling them I'm sorry. These are kinds of nice things we can do. But it's not our job. It's not our responsibility at all. It's nice. But be careful of crossing over the line. So we're being mindful of what we're doing, okay, the things we're doing, and try to stop. Try to draw the line and say, we're different people, and they're going to be okay. And that helps as we become okay. As the more healthier we become and heal from our traumas, then we start understanding it everybody else can do. Okay? Thank you. Lausanne Van Niekerk. God, I know I'm saying that wrong. I messed that up. I'm sorry. From South Africa, Johannesburg, Midland. Hi. You are helping a lot. Dad is a narcissist. It's very painful and lonely for a child. You are in my top 5. I always recommend Damar's coaching. Lee Hammock, mental illness, self-aware narcissist. Interesting. Kanika Batra, Dr. Ramani, Rebecca Zung. Also a great channel. Helps a lot. Thank you for those recommendations. Thanks for putting me in these categories with other people that you really like. Thank you. I'm sorry your dad is a narcissist and it's very painful as a child. Yes, it really, really can be. I hope that he's not in your life anymore, or that the relationship you have with him is completely on your terms. Okay? Thank you. And Jen from San Diego. Hi, Jen. Thanks so much for your genuine response. You brought me peace and sanity. A minor correction about your understanding of my situation. The guy I met online and dated 7 months didn't allow me to visit him, but we have been meeting at my house for 6 months. Oh, I didn't catch that if you said it. So it's not like we had never met. I agree that they are extremely codependent. He insisted that he has to care about his roommate's feelings more than mine. I felt very hurt and called him a liar. He called me acting like a drama queen. Am I a drama queen by breaking up with this liar who lives a secret life with his female best friend? No, you're healthy. That's healthy. I mean, I'm not going to read Jen's entire situation from the last video, but she was dating long distance, and this guy had his female friend or ex-girlfriend or probably current girlfriend living with him, which Jen was never allowed to go visit them, never see them, and he always put this roommate first before Jen and said she's more important than Jen. I'll always be there for her, can't be there for you as much. I mean, just ridiculous. But now you're telling me he visited you. So it wasn't he didn't want the relationship to go too, slow and not meet yet. No, just you can't go there. Why do you think, Jen? I mean, we have to draw that conclusion until otherwise proven. Yeah, I'm sure that's his girlfriend. He was just lying to you and manipulating you, and I'm really sorry. And who cares what other people think, that you're a drama queen or that? Who gives a crap what he thinks? Screw his opinion. Right? Opinions are opinions. They're not facts. They can't be proven wrong or right. He wants to think you're a drama queen for breaking up with him when he's obviously lying and manipulating you. Lying to you and manipulating you. You did the right thing. I'm sure. I hope it feels good to do that. And I'm sorry for your loss. Emily from South Africa. Hi, Emily. Trying to get my mind off my parents and focusing on things that I enjoy but somehow didn't do when I was around them. Really into watching videos about SpaceX, Tesla. It feels good to know that the world won't stop working when you don't worry about everything. How can I stop fawning so easily? I want to keep being myself regardless of what other people do so they can get jealous of me or angry. And I never understood, why do you want people jealous of you? Let's not try that, okay? And I think you mean envious. You want people envious of you? That's narcissistic. That's a narcissistic diagnostic trait. We don't need and want people envious or jealous of us, okay? You just be you and don't worry about what people think, positive or negative. We only value the people's opinions that are close to us in our life, okay? All right? And when I won a game, my friends would always be jealous of me and act nasty, so I would say I probably just got lucky this time just to get them to stop being jealous. Okay. Just to go on with my day and not try to keep them from getting... Oh, you are not trying to get people... You're trying to get people not to be jealous of you. Envious is the word. I get it, Emily. You got sick of people being envious of you. I get it. My brain feels more calm and less dizzy when I'm away from my parents. I want to keep it that way. They don't change and I don't need... So stay away from them, okay? We do what starts to feel better, all right? Literally, whatever feels better. We all want to eat maybe candy and cake all day. Does that feel good? No. Okay. Why does internet trolls act the way they do? Is it best just to ignore them? What are moral values? How do you know if another person has the same values as you? First one, why do internet trolls act the way they do? Because they have no life. And I'm not trying to make fun of it. I'm not trying to be sarcastic or facetious, or they literally have no life. Think about who spends life on the internet just to screw with other people all the time. Get a life, right? The best way to do it is completely ignore them. Without any kind of response, maybe they'll go find and have a life. Okay? Not one person can't ruin other people's lives and all this stuff. They need a response. They need people to help them. They need people to react the way they want. They just get nothing. Eventually people stop because people don't like to work for free. What are moral values? Respect, honesty, integrity, loyalty, acceptance, things like this. Okay? And how do you know if another person has the same values as you? You don't. You don't know. That's the point. The point is that you don't know, and you take a long, long, long time to get to know somebody, because that's pretty important to know, isn't it? And everybody's different, so not everybody values any morals at all, right? Narcissists say they do. I value loyalty and respect and honesty. Yeah, but you're not. So you don't know who you are, right? I love that. People say, oh, I demand loyalty and I really, 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 value loyalty. You need to be loyal to me. As they're lying, cheating, talking bad about you, never home, never tell you where they are, real loyal, bud. So, how do you know? You don't. It takes a long time to get to know somebody. Okay? So, that one question, a few questions back about you only talked to this person 6 months and said you didn't know who they are, right? You don't know what he's doing, if he's telling the truth, if he's honest, has integrity. Looks like he doesn't. Kina. Why did the narcissist I was dating never answer my question directly with a yes or no answer? Well, why do you want to know? Let me know on the next video. Thanks. Just kidding. Why did the narcissist I was dating never answer my question directly with a yes or no? I couldn't tell you why, who he is and what he's doing and all that. I couldn't tell you, can you? But I can tell you that narcissists are very, 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 very bad communicators because they had a very, 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 very neglectful childhood where their parents were very, very, very bad at communicating. And so are they. Literally, that's a big major reason. They don't know how to communicate with you, and they're narcissistic, so they don't really care that you have a question for them. They actually get pretty annoyed with questions. Why do they have to answer your questions? You should just know. And don't question me. I've made a whole video about this. Yeah. They're narcissists. They don't give a crap what you want to know. The better that you don't know anything. Okay? Victoria from the Bay Area. Hi, Victoria. Summer Wells' parents are all over YouTube. The Wells' 5-year-old daughter was taken right outside that Tennessee home, and they're on YouTube drunk. The mother and father were on the behavioral panel. The mother ended the interview saying, "This isn't helping me. It's amazing because it wasn't about the mom. It was about the child finding her daughter." So I didn't know about this case until you asked me this question, Victoria. So I went and watched Dr. Phil. The parents were on there. And I got a little bit of what was going on. And, this is a case where the daughter's missing. And a lot of people think one or both parents had something to do with that. And so what happens, a lot of parents that have missing children that lose their child and don't know where they are, they'll turn to social media quite often nowadays. And they try to get some support on social media and try to, can you find her? It's kind of like putting an APB out there. Look for, here's my daughter, if you see anything or find her. So that's what they did. And they have been absolutely harassed horrendously by people accusing them of murdering her, doing something to her. Really, really sad. I don't know. Who cares what my opinion is anyways? These are another situation where it is not okay to be wrong. So we all form our own opinion, hopefully. And now there's a lot of people harassing this mother. And she looks like she could have been kind of guilty. Yeah. But she also kind of looks like she's telling the truth. I mean, we don't know. And people don't always act the same. I've taken courses on this in college. I was going to be a police officer. I took interviewing and interrogations and stuff like this. And there is no absolute. Okay. And so we get to know behavioral patterns. And if they start to change, when it might be deceiving. Okay. But we don't know. And honestly, it's just not okay to be wrong. It's not okay. Unless we all have a video of her doing it and we're all like, yep, she did it. She's just lying. And then you want to go harass her and be nasty to her and call her names and stuff like this. I'm not saying you are, Victoria. I just know that's what it said on Maury, that a lot of people are doing this. And I have seen parents that I totally believe the parents had nothing to do with this poor child they lost. And they got harassed so bad, they're thinking about taking their own lives and stuff. It's so bad. It's so bad. The internet is disgusting. So many people on there are awful, horrible. And they go and just harass people and turn their computer off and go about their day and don't care. It's just disgusting. Who cares about people's opinions? It's amazing how important people believe their opinion is. It's amazing. They believe their opinion is so important that everybody needs to know it and everybody needs to share it. Yeah. I don't know what else to say about this case. there's something definitely wrong with the mom, but she lost a child. Regardless if she murdered the child, and I guess she was drinking on YouTube. I don't judge people for that. Do what you want. You know, you lost your daughter and you're drinking. Sad. I don't know what else to say. I don't know anything about what really happened. And then it's just my opinion. Who cares about my opinion about that? Okay. Thanks, Victoria, though. Interesting story. I've seen many like this, very similar. And I've seen how the internet just ruins people's lives about it. As if losing your child isn't bad enough. Mike from the United States. Hi, Mike. Are you in a committed relationship? Not at the moment. If so, how long did it take for you to commit? I've been taking my time to commit and wanted perspective from another man who has a similar past in relationships. So I've been healing from my abusive relationships for about 11 years. That's when it started. I haven't been in an abusive relationship pretty much of any kind for 11 years. And it took me several years to heal, to feel better, several years to understand what was going on, and several years to start dating again. And I had to start small with friends, and I'd still, I realized I had some toxic friends I had to get rid of. And it was, back then it was harder to keep toxic people out of my life. As I became healthier, that's what I wanted. Healthy people. And I learned how to have healthy boundaries, because that's about your self-worth. As you heal, your self-worth goes up. So it just takes a long time to get to know people, Mike. I can't put a timeline on it, but people that go and get married in 6 months of meeting each other, there's something wrong. What are you in a race for? Like living with people right away and stuff like this. It just doesn't make any sense. The only thing that makes sense is they're codependent and they're just in a race, because they're maybe not very self-reliant, things like this. But yeah, it's too hard to put any kind of timelines on when you guys should date again and stuff like this. But at least feel better. For one, feel better. We don't need to take our past into future relationships. It won't work. And then if you don't feel better, you're not healed, so your self-worth is still low, and you're probably going to find other people with low self-worth. This is a perfect time for you to fall into the trap of another abuser. Okay, so we need to feel better, and we need to learn how to have happy, healthy relationships, period. Feel better raises our self-worth. It's healing. And then now that we're up here, we better learn how to have a happy, healthy relationship, or it'll start causing us stress. Relationships will again, or we'll be too scared and never have one again. Okay? I don't know if I really answered that for you, Mike, but please keep asking, okay? And thank you. Jennifer again. Hi, Jennifer. Will you do a video on why silence and no contact is the best way forward in order to heal, and why reaction is what narcs want us as gives fuel? And when will you do a video with the lovely, calm lady from Australia again? Jennifer, United Kingdom. Thank you. That's right. You're from United Kingdom. I don't know. I did a video with her, God, about a month ago, and we'll do more again. I used to do them every 2 weeks for a while, so there's a lot of older ones, but I will again. I just don't know when. Probably pretty soon. And we do a video on why silence and no contact is the best way forward. I've done many. I have like 900 videos. So I've probably made, more than one video on everything that everybody asks me to do. But I always can do them again. So I'll do another one soon. How's that? But the basic gist of it is, if we're traumatized, we can't heal from trauma until we're away from the source of trauma. And that's an unhealthy, traumatic relationship with an unhealthy, disordered, typically, person. And so we can't be in contact with them and totally heal, which makes having children and stuff very, very much more difficult. But it's crucial. And by stopping this, by ending it, by not contacting them, by not answering the phone, calling them back, reacting to their text, then you start healing. You're literally raising your self-worth right there. I deserve better than this. He's just going to hurt me, and I don't want to get hurt again. I'm worth more. Okay? But yeah, it's like, I use the analogy, it's like healing from a fire. Healing burns while we're still standing over the fire. We got to get away from the fire. Don't come back tomorrow for a little bit. Stay away. Right. And it's an addiction. It's an addiction, so we treat it as such. Okay, that's it, guys. Thank you very, 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 very much. Great questions. I hope the answers were suffice. Let me know what you guys think about my answers, okay? please let me know, have some dialogue, ask, keep being more specific about the same questions, all that stuff. And thanks for the recommendations for videos. They'll come out soon. And love yourself first. Okay? See you next week, guys. Bye-bye.